Hello and welcome to another video. In this one I'm going to install a graphics card into this Optiplex 3010. I'm also going to install an SSD and an HDD, and I'm going to keep the original DVD drive, after which I'll test some games on it, and I'll have to say this thing turned out to be surprisingly capable. I have previously made many videos about mounting full height graphics cards inside one of these things, and in the comments I'm often reminded that low profile GPUs do exist. Contrary to popular belief, I am aware of the existence of low profile GPUs. It's just been harder to find a good deal on one of those. In order to mount both an SSD and an HDD, I'm using this 3.5 to 2x 2.5 inch adapter. Mounted on the SSD here, I have an adapter in order to use the slimline SATA power cable that originally is used to power the DVD drive. Using the slimline SATA power cable for the SSD frees up one of the SATA power cables, and I'll be later using that to power an additional case fan. As I'm going to be keeping the DVD drive, I'll have to find another way to power it, and also this PC only has two SATA data cables that are going to be needed for the SSD and HDD. So in order to connect this DVD drive, I'm going to use one of the internal USB headers on the motherboard. To do that, I'll need two adapters. One will be converting the slimline SATA to USB Type A, and the other will be converting the Type A to an internal motherboard header. The internal motherboard header can then be connected to the motherboard. Or at least I thought it would be that simple, but of course OEM manufacturers don't want to make the standards actually standard. This motherboard has one USB 2.0 internal header, which is needed for the front USB ports. With this internal motherboard USB 2.0 hub, it can be converted into two USB 2.0 motherboard headers. With this internal USB hub, we can connect both the front panel USBs and the DVD drive into this one USB header. And this does indeed work. With this USB hub, both front USB ports and the DVD drive work perfectly while booted inside Windows. However, every time the PC boots, it gives out an error message claiming that the front USB is not connected. This is because in the front USB cable, two of specific ground wires are sorted together. When these two ground wires are sorted together, for example with jumper, like here, the error goes away. So I needed to find a way to sort these two ground pins together while having the USB hub connected. I extracted the metallic crimps from inside the jumper and I mounted them onto the USB hub itself. This will sort these two ground pins together and will make the PC think that the original USB cable is connected. If you want to do something similar to this, make sure you sort out the correct pins. After getting rid of the error messages, I found another problem with the USB hub. It was interfering with the GPU and preventing it to be mounted properly. So I had to cut the plastic shroud of the GPU to make it fit together with the USB hub. After taking a bit of the plastic shroud of the GPU, I was able to fit it in the case with the USB hub. It's touching the USB hub a bit, but that should only help to keep it in place, and the card isn't bent too much, so I was comfortable leaving it like that. With the low profile 1050 in place, let's take a look at the storage I installed in this PC. I'm going to use the one 3.5 inch drive tray to mount two 2.5 inch drives, and for that I'll use this adapter that's actually from another Dell SFF PC, and attached to the SSD here is an adapter that converts SATA to slimline SATA so that I can use the slimline SATA power cable that's originally meant for the DVD drive. Since I'll be later installing an additional fan in this PC, I'll need an additional power connector, and that fan will need a Molex power cable, so I'm installing a SATA to Molex adapter. At this point I can connect the SATA power and data cables to the HDD, and after that I can put the HDD tray back into its place. With the HDD tray back in its place, I can now plug in the SATA data and slimline SATA power cables. With the SATA cables in place, we can move to the DVD drive. The DVD drive slides back into its place like this, but there is one problem. The slimline SATA to USB adapter is interfering with the drive cage. The solution was to bend the metal just a bit so that the cable can be routed around it. The final modification I made to this PC was the additional side panel fan. I installed this blue LED fan into the side panel in place of the handle that Dell Optiplexes have. I have another video where I do the same fan mod for Optiplex 390 that's very similar to this PC, and if you want detailed instructions you can check out that video. Without the handle or the latch, you can still open up the PC by pressing the tab on the back of the PC. That engages the same mechanism as the handle would. As you can see here, I have Windows 11 installed with Rufus and I'm stress testing the PC. Running Prime 95 and Firestrike simultaneously got it to consume a bit over 150 watts, which should be fine with the PSU. Now that the PC is built and tested to be working correctly, we can move to testing some games on it. BeamNG.drive with low settings and 1080p resolution run with a surprisingly high FPS. Next game I tested was Counter-Strike 2 at low settings and 1080p resolution, and this game too performed surprisingly well. Earlier when benchmarking this game, I've either tried to use the in-game show FPS command or I've tried to use the Nvidia overlay, only to later discover that it isn't visible in the recorded footage. I found out that the fix to get the Afterburner stats to display on screen was surprisingly simple. I just needed to add this flag to the launch options in Steam. Fortnite at 1080p and low settings run really well. Moving to something a bit more demanding, I tested The Evil Within 2 at 1080p and lowest settings, and it's borderline playable. I wouldn't play it myself on this PC.
worry, Sebastian. It's just a small, quiet town. Yeah. Too quiet. Hello? Hey! She had to have heard me. Better check it out.
Cyberpunk 2077 at 1080p and the low settings runs at quite a low FPS, but the FPS is quite stable. I could totally see someone playing the game like this, but I wouldn't.
Who's a shrinking violet? Is it you? I'll skin you!
But I gotta ask. Compeki Plaza heist. Why?
Lots of different reasons.
Uh-huh. Like?
Look, no offense, but
You don't feel like talking about it. Regret it?
read the room, Songbird.
You alive?
Think so.
Sure ammo, assault rifles, tactical gear. Too tame? Let's stare at what we got in the back.
This is Kurt Hansen. If you're hearing this, you've come to the right place. NCPD, gang wars, not in Dogtown. Taxes,
Wait, this ain't what it looks like.
In Dogtown, I keep your business safe as long as you abide by law.
V, been meaning to ask. How bad is it for you?
Clock's ticking, and fast. Relic will finish me, sooner rather than later.
I know. Songbird the cat. Life number 9 commenced. Alas, I made sure to get Myers to the safe room before I ejected. Run to the wreckage, V. Save her.
Think you can help? Give me some support?
I'll do my best. You need to hurry.
What then? Got a plan?
Find Myers, get her to Liz Crest Street. It'll be the safest spot in Dogtown right now.
Right.
I'll be in touch. Godspeed, V. Focus now. You won't pass this way without a fight. You're capable, I know, but I